Alright, so to start off this video, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. So, we're going to be upgrading the super smelter, because we're going to need a lot of things for our next build. And to do that, we need a lot of hoppers and everything like that. So that's what I just finished gathering. And we're gonna push these guys. We got stuck. So what we're gonna do, instead of the minecart track underneath, we're going to have hoppers underneath every single furnace, leading into two droppers for each one. So we got 32 hoppers per dropper, but should be able to keep up, I think. I haven't tested it, but I'm hoping it does. And yep, so we're going to do that since our speed is limited by the minecarts and they aren't the fastest thing in the world. So I think the hoppers will be a bit quicker, and then we can already have the items dispensed here, so we can just put this water stream and connect it down here until they just fly off like that again. So this way we're not limited by how fast the items get unloaded and everything, and have sometimes they do have the minecarts get stuck on the on the track, and then that causes even more problems because we don't get half the items that we put in. So this is just going to be a better option since it's more reliable and doesn't break if the chunks get unloaded like the minecarts do. So this is what we're doing for this, and it's pretty simple. We're just going to take 16 hoppers from out each direction from the dropper, and then we just link up a simple compact item unloader. So I can build one of those real quick to show you how you do it. It's honestly the most compact and quick way to get items out of a dropper, and it is a bit more expensive than you would normally want it to be, but we put a comparator coming out from the dropper right here. Place the piston facing up, an observer, click on that comparator right there, and we also can place another observer. We're going to go on this side and just click any of the blocks that are around it. If you don't have a block there, you can simply just place another block here and then place a block there, and then break that one, and you're all set. And then that's our dispenser for that. We actually did place this on the wrong side because I wasn't paying attention, so we can just fix that real quick by doing it again. Comparator, sticky piston, observer. I built so many of these, I can basically build it without even looking at the screen. It's just they're my go-to one if I need to get items out of the dispenser or dropper, since they're just compact, and I literally used it for all of them down there. If you couldn't tell when I did the super smelter in a very early episode, this was one of our actually first big farms that we did, because I needed to smelt a lot of glass for this itself. So I said, well, I guess we're making a big one of the smelter, so yeah. This is what I'm going to be doing. We're going to upgrade this, and then we're going to link it to the output of our super smelter, which is just going to be our little AFK spot in the center. So I'm almost done 2 wings here, and then we will be all good, and we can smelt all this glass, or this sand into glass that we're going to need. Alright, so for this episode, we're going to build up the farm, actually. So, as you can see, if you could look really closely at the bottom screen, you could see that this cat was teleported. This is my last cat that I got from the village. Since we're going to need the cats, I didn't really plan for the perimeter to be near a village, but it was. And we got ourselves some cats. We're going to breed them up. So basically the village was right over here, and I just brought some fish in my AFK fish farm that I haven't used in such a long time, but I had some fish still left there. We were going to use that. So we got the cats from over there. Now we brought them over to our perimeter, and that was that. So we actually got very lucky here. So right here is the center the exact center of our perimeter. And if we look at the chunks, we can see this is our center chunk, but it's a little bit offset to this side because I didn't build it precisely in each chunk. So it's gonna, if you look at the farm, it's going to be a bit shifted to this side more than that side. But we got very lucky because if we go right here to this chunk right here, it's a slime chunk, as well as right below this one is also a slime chunk. So I got very lucky. So this one right here is a slime chunk, but where the scaffolding are the 3x3 for the 9 chunks that we need to use for our farm for a minimum. So we're going to use those. And if there was a slime chunk, we would be getting slime in our farm, which would not be good. So it would lower our rates for creepers, but we would get slime also. Some people might like that. I personally do not need it because I already have a 30,000 an hour quad slime chunk. But yeah, so we're trying to build the farm. The farm is our logical geek boy, so we're gonna do that. I wish I had a world download, but he doesn't seem to have one, so I can build a schematic. But maybe I try to build one of them and then make a schematic of that. But we'll see. We'll see how it works. Alright, a bit of a progress update. We got the 9 spawning areas in, and we have the center marked with that glass in the center. So what we need to do is get all the portals to the right height, and then we can take the cords of that middle block right there, go to the nether, and that's where our center portal is going to be for all of these. So yeah, I gotta do that, finish these portals to the right height, and then we can see the first layer pretty much almost done. Alright, so the portals are in, so we're going to take the cords of this center block right here. So we're looking at 5144 -905, and what we can do now is light all of these portals, and this should, in theory, that one should link up to the ones in the center. Every single one of them should link up to the ones in the center. Now if I were to fly over to this one, it should not link to that one. It should be the one we went to the first time, which it is. Alright, that's good. So these portals are relatively close. The only thing I'm hoping now is that we don't have any creepers coming through that portal. Alright, so we are about a few hours later, and we have one complete layer done. Got all the cats. I've got apparently another trapdoor I gotta break. All the iron trapdoors are in place. All of the wooden trapdoors in place for the first layer. As well as we have the second layer spawning pads in, because we needed those to get the iron trapdoors for the first spawning pad in. So at least we don't need to build the portals on every layer. We only have one layer of portals at the bottom. So we got a few more layers to go. It is taking a little bit longer than I expected, but it should be smooth throughout here. So all we need to do is do the spawning layers. We don't need to do the portals or anything else anymore. So I think we should be okay. Yeah, it should go a lot quicker. But yeah, this is pretty much 2-3 hours of work. And we got the first layer basically done and everything. Still don't know what I want to put in here. Like maybe some beacons or something, I don't know. But yeah, I wish we could decorate this later. But our main block is that one there. There's the gray concrete, the black carpets. And then I want the spruce trapdoors because I have a bunch of them. Because I use the spruce tree form that I have. And then we use iron on the inside, since we also have a lot of iron. So yeah, that's mainly that. So you can see this absolute size of this farm. It looks really small compared to the perimeter we have, but yeah, I quite like it. It's coming along really nice, and we got a little ways to go. Then we can actually turn it on, but we need to do this, and then we need to do the collection and everything. So we still got a long way ahead of us, but in terms of the farm being done, it's close-ish to being done. So I'm going to go back onto it. I might do another time lapse, I'm not sure. But yeah.
lucky. Feel so lucky, feel so lucky. Feel so lucky. Feel so lucky, feel so lucky. Feel so lucky. Feel so lucky, feel so lucky. Feel so lucky. Feel so lucky, 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 feel so lucky.
Alright, so that time lapse was about 2 layers, 2 or 3 layers, something like that. So I just want to go ahead without a time lapse now and just finish the rest of it off. And then we can start working on the nether side, and then we can start doing the storage. So I'm just going to try to finish this off real quick. We only got 2 more layers, so I have to do this one right here, another layer on top, and then that's it. So we're getting close, we're getting close. Trying to keep my head focused and don't lose all motivation, but this should look pretty good in the end. I gotta do a bunch more trap doors and everything. And then we just build one more layer on top, get all the cats in, and then we're all set on the overworld side. And then we just go to the nether and start getting everything finished. So yeah, I'm off to that. Alright, so what we need to do is do the trapdoors for the top layer. I'm starting on the roof right now. We're doing it out of quartz slabs, since this thing I think will go pretty well, the contrast and everything. So we gotta go 15 blocks out from each of the 11 by 11 platforms and then connect all of them up. So it's going to be a solid slab on top of all of this, so that we get weight level 0 in the farm, which gives us the best spawns. So I have a lot of slab placements still ahead of me, but we are getting very, 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 very close. The trapdoors takes about maybe 10 minutes, if that. So I just gotta keep grinding away. We have the majority of it all in place, but now I gotta go out. I think it's 12 more blocks. Yeah, 12 more blocks from the 11 by 11. So right here, we're gonna go out. Right there, and then we just connect this diagonally to our other diagonal one that we started on the other side, and there we go. So yes, I have a lot of slab placing ahead of me. I'm going to try my best to get this done, and then we can start working on this collection and everything, and then we build a storage system and everything, then we can actually turn the farm on. Getting rid of all the sea lanterns, so yeah, I'm going to keep the grind going again. Alright, we're 100% done on the overworld side. The trapdoors are in on the top layer. We got the complete slab over top of the farm, so we get pitch black, light level 0 in the center, on every single block in there once we get rid of all the sea lanterns. All our cats are in place, every single of the wood trapdoors is in place, all the carpets are good. Portals, water streams, everything is all good. So now we can go to the nether side of the portals, and we can start building the collection over there. So we're not actually going to build the storage in the nether, we're actually going to bring it back over here to the overworld using that portal there. So it's going to be our entrance portal as well as our item portal. We might move our entrance portal if I use that one as my item portal, since I wouldn't be able to get in very easily and just clog my inventory up, so we might put another portal on the other side over there. So get rid of all this, but yeah, we're getting very, very close again. So the collection is going to be really easy. It's going to be basically a copy of what we did for the Guardian farm. We're going to have them drop. Occasionally we're going to push the items out, we'll push the blocks out real quick, push the items down, and then push them over into a portal. Could it be something like that again? Since that seems to work very well, honestly. Alright, so everything is done. I spent a bit of time in the nether. I just did a full hour test. As you can see, we got our storage, everything set up. But it did come with a drawback. Since I couldn't figure out why I was getting the portal linking not working, I had to do a lot of testing and it took a lot of time. So this is basically a day or two later from the last clip, just because of so much testing I had to do and everything. But as you can see, it is working. Look at a few spots, you'll see some creepers that are just walking off the edges right there. Right there, you can see them getting run away from the cats, and they fall off the edge. And if we were to go, they get pushed into the portal. If we were to go to the nether, over here, we can see what's happening. We're not going to actually see creepers because we need mobs to spawn. But apparently there is a bunch of spiders. As you can see, this is the portal where the creepers come through. And then we have these fire things here. You don't really need two of them. Well, these two up to right here, but I extended it down even more just because I was still getting bats. So creepers come in here. Once a bunch of them stack up, they get pushed off to the side. And if we get some bats, the bats fly into the fire right here. So we get rid of those. And then what happens here is the creepers fall down here onto these magma blocks where they should die because it's like a 28 block drop, but I've seen some of them survive. So I put that there just in case. And get the same hopper clock we have here as we do with the Guardian farm. So every so often those pistons push off, get the blocks or the items go down into the bottom part there. And then about 8 redstone ticks later, we get the slime block pusher to push it over like that. You can actually test this with some string. So it says my silk touch. Yep. So we're going to throw 3 string in here. You can watch it go up the elevator right here. So we have a slime block elevator that makes the items go all the way up, and they get pushed into the portal, which is up there. What I originally had was I had the portal down here, as you could see. And for some reason the portals for the farm were also linking to that portal, so then I couldn't figure that out. I tried moving it back further, up closer, nothing was happening, they were still linking. And it was a whole mess. It was like 3 hours of me just breaking portals and everything. But, so what the problem was, is we're not using a central portal in the overworld, we're using a central block. So all the portals link into that block in the center. So what would happen if I had a portal on the other side of the perimeter, which is what I had originally, and I didn't have one on this side, it was messing up that calculation, and it was linking some portals, all the portals to this one when I needed to link them to that one. So what I had to do is I had to put another portal on the other side. That's why I have two, and then the exit portal for the items over here, and then the entrance for me to get into the perimeter over there, so that the portal in the center links all the portals that are for the creeper farm into this portal, and then those ones link separately. So it did take a lot of testing and everything, but eventually got it working, which is what I wanted. I didn't want to do another sword in it because it would just be a lot smaller and more annoying than anything else. You can see we keep that observer tower going all the way up. And then this is like perfectly timed to where the items get shot up and they get pushed over instantly with so much momentum that they could probably go for like hundreds of blocks. But we'll go see the other side where we have the items collection stream and everything. This is the portal I was talking about I needed to have so that these portals will link to the center. So what we got on the other side here is we have the, maybe from a little bit closer we'll see some gunpowder come through. Yep. So the gunpowder hits that glass wall in front, and then it all funnels down to here where it gets sent up and over to our big storage system over here. I just finished an hour test, so we should have a bunch of gunpowder. Yep. Not as much as I expected, but nonetheless it is a good amount. So we have a pretty big storage here. Now this is just temporary right now. I want to get like a storage like surrounding the whole entire farm, but that's obviously going to take a lot of chests, and I don't have any bone meal for my farm right now, my wood farm, so I can't really use that. So this is what we got right now, and I just did an hour test like I said, and we're getting about 70,000 gunpowder an hour, so a little bit less than what he said on his video. Of course, link to the description for logicalgeekboy's design that we're using right here will be down there. So yeah, we just have a standard sort. We don't even need a sorter because all we get is gunpowder. And you can see that we use the honey blocks here to align the items, like you would a chest or something like that, but we just use the honey blocks since I had some extra of them. And I don't need them. As you can see, all the creepers spawning in, getting pushed off. Still gotta check for that missing carpet where we're getting some spiders in over here, which I don't understand, but we'll figure it out. So we just got the same items. We don't need a sorter because all we get is gunpowder. And we can see we're backed up on hoppers here. There's so much gunpowder coming in that basically everything is backed up. Okay, it goes a lot farther than that. So we did get a lot, yes. Yeah, we definitely did get a lot of gunpowder. Alright, so yeah, I'm starting to see it now. Maybe we do something special, like we have some silos and everything. We get like the digital output of what's chest is filled and what's not filled, maybe? That could be something we could do. But yeah, this is taking me one of my biggest projects besides the wither skeleton farm. Not in this world, my other world. So this is one of the biggest projects I've ever done in this world so far. But yeah, this is great, and I don't really need to use TNT duping anymore, since I can get a lot of TNT with all this gunpowder we're getting. The only problem now would be sand, so I could try to get a sand, switch the concrete duper out for a sand duper, so we have that going for us. And yeah, then we got basically limited TNT. So I say this is a success. I'm going to call it here, and maybe we can see what we do next episode. It's going to be even bigger and better. That's what I want to keep doing in this world. You can see the farm is basically huge here. All the creepers and everything. We made this in our giant perimeter that we have. And yeah, so that's going to do it. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, sorts of things, and I'll see you in the next one.